What if I told you that we're standing on the edge of a gold rush? Not like the ones you read in history books, but one that's happening right now. A phase so wild, so unpredictable, and so explosive that people will either come out millionaires or spend the next decade saying, "I should have bought when it was still under $3. Gold, the ancient metal that has outlived empires, pandemics, and financial meltdowns, is now waking up again. But this time, it's not just another spike. No, this time it feels different. Central banks are hoarding it like never before. Billionaires are quietly moving their chips. And ordinary people, most of them are still asleep at the wheel. The question is, will you act before the chaos begins? Because what we're about to dive into is not just a story of price charts and predictions. It's a story about fear, greed, war, collapse, and opportunity. If you're ready to understand why gold might be entering its craziest era yet, and why missing this could haunt you for years, hit that subscribe button. Buckle up, and let's get into it. Part 1, The Calm Before the Gold Storm. For years, gold has been called boring. It doesn't pay dividends, they said. Crypto is the future, they claimed. Meanwhile, gold quietly held its ground, refusing to die, refusing to fade. But beneath that calm surface, something started brewing. It began with whispers, central banks in countries like China, Russia, and Turkey increasing their gold reserves silently. Not just small purchases, we're talking record-setting levels. They're not doing this for fun. They're preparing for something big. Then came the inflation, quiet at first, then roaring through economies like a wildfire. The dollar, once seen as untouchable, started showing cracks. And what does history say happens when people lose trust in their currency? They run to gold, every single time. But this time, there's a twist. Unlike past decades, this new generation has grown up with tech, crypto, and instant gratification. Many ignored gold. But now, even the most die-hard Bitcoiners are starting to say, maybe we need some metal insurance. That calm you see in gold prices right now, it's a trap. The setup before the madness. The spring before the snap. Part 2, The Perfect Storm is forming. Let's break this down. What happens when you mix massive debt, global uncertainty, and a loss of trust in fiat currencies? You get a financial cocktail so toxic, it makes 2008 look like a warm-up. Governments are printing like there's no tomorrow. The US national debt is now spiraling past $34 trillion. That's not just a big number, that's unsustainable. Eventually, something has to give. Add to that the rising tensions between superpowers. The world isn't just economically unstable, it's geopolitically volatile. Wars, trade blockades, sanctions, they're all happening at once. And what asset always spikes during global panic? Yep, gold. Here's the kicker. The last time we saw this kind of setup, inflation rising, currencies devaluing, and trust eroding, gold didn't just go up. It exploded. In the late 70s, it surged over 2.00% in a few years. Now imagine that same energy, but amplified by 24/7 news cycles, global social media panic, and a market that can shift in seconds. That's where we're headed. Part 3, Why most people will miss it. Here's the tragic part. Most people won't act. Why? Because they're waiting for permission. They want to hear a CNBC analyst say, "Now is the time." They want a green light from the herd. But by the time the herd moves, the gold train is already halfway up the mountain. Fear is a powerful paralyzer. People fear buying too early, fear losing money, fear looking stupid, so they sit, they scroll, they hesitate. Meanwhile, the smart money, the insiders, the hedge funds, the central banks, they move quietly. Remember 2020, when the world shut down, stocks crashed, and gold hit $2? People thought that was the peak. But it was only a preview, a dress rehearsal. What's coming next isn't a nice, steady climb. It's more like a slingshot. And slingshots don't give you second chances. So while the average person waits for proof, gold is already preparing to leave them behind. Part 4, How to position yourself before the madness. Let's get real. I'm not saying sell your house and buy gold bars. But if you're not paying attention right now, you're playing a dangerous game. There are smart, simple ways to gain exposure. Physical gold for the old school investors. ETFs like GLD for those who want liquidity. Or even gold mining stocks for those chasing bigger upside, though that comes with more risk. The key isn't betting the farm. The key is being in the game. Even a small position can make a massive difference if gold does what it's poised to do. But most importantly, shift your mindset. This isn't about being a gold bug or a doomsdayer. It's about protecting your wealth in a world gone mad. It's about realizing that every system has a breaking point, and we're getting dangerously close to ours. You don't need to predict the exact day or hour, but you do need to recognize the signs. And they're all blinking red right now. Conclusion: history has a funny way of repeating itself. Every time the world falls into chaos, every time trust collapses and panic spreads, one asset rises from the ashes like a phoenix, gold. But this time, it's not just about safety. It's about opportunity. The setup in front of us isn't just a warning sign. It's an invitation to act before the headlines explode, to prepare before the storm hits, to look back one day and say, I saw it coming, and I didn't hesitate. Because the truth is, gold doesn't care if you believe in it or not. It will rise regardless. The only question is whether you'll rise with it, or be left behind asking, why didn't I listen? So if this video sparked something in you, don't just scroll past. Smash that like button, drop a comment. Are you holding gold? Thinking about it? Or still skeptical? And most importantly, subscribe to this channel. We're diving deeper into this crazy financial world every week. And you won't want to miss what's coming next. Your future self might just thank you.